Okay, here's a tutorial a little bit about surface types and how they can affect the load sheets within your route weavers on the load sheet itself. So depending on what they have selected, let's say they pick grass or dirt, you might have the load sheet add stakes, where if they pick concrete or indoors, it might switch your load sheet to say bring sandbags. And you can also bring things like tarps and blowers and extension cords. Anything that you want to be reminded to bring to an event can go in, and they're all triggered by the surface type. So the first thing you want to look at is the names of your surface types. You might want to write these down. They are capital specific, capital letters and spacing all matter, so you might want to do a little print screen of this or just keep it on a separate tab for the next step. And also, before I move on from this area, since we're in setup surfaces, if you want to set up a particular cost, like an additional fee for tarping when you're on grass, you could add that in at this point. So from here, we're going to go back into our products, and I'll just set up the first couple, grass, and we'll say indoor, since those are going to be different. And here's a shortcut to edit all the items in a certain category. We're actually going to go to categories first, and from categories we can select deluxe bounce houses. And now I'm going to go down to the very bottom, and where it says view items with a category of deluxe bounce houses, that will now display everything that's inside of that category without having to alphabetize by category or something like that across the entire inventory. So now that we're seeing that, to do a lot of editing across an entire category, it's usually best to be in spreadsheet mode. So I'm going to switch to spreadsheet mode. And if you were not aware, you can go into customize, and I've already done this. But if you have a bunch of information that's showing up, like the quantity and the contents and pictures and all that, you can eliminate that extra clutter simply by deselecting them in this list. So if I want to have the pictures in there just as a reminder of what I'm working on, I can add that, click update, and now it's only showing the name, the picture, and the surface load options. So that's what we're working on. I didn't point that out, but surface load options is what we're actually working with right now. And we said that we were going to work on grass and indoor as our current thing. So let's go down to Disney Princess Castle, and I'm going to start with grass, spelled correctly, add a colon, a space, and then I'm going to write stakes. Now these are arbitrary names. This has nothing to do with your inventory. It's not tracking inventory. This is just generating a good load list for you. So we're going to say stakes, a space, and there we go. And then we're going to add an X for the quantity, and then the quantity that we actually want. So we're going to say 4 stakes, and we'll say 1 blower, and anything else that we want, you just add a comma and the name, space, and whatever. So if you wanted a tarp, you could add that. If you wanted an extension cord, you could do that as well. And now let's define the next setup surface type. Let's say indoor was one of them. And of course you want to define all of them, but for right now I'm just going to do these 2 for example. So we're going to say sandbags, and maybe we want 8 to hold that down. We still want the blower, so I'm going to say blower times 1. And now that's probably it. But let's say now that we're in the same category that we want to do that for all of these. Now I can say Control C to copy, and now I can come into each of these and do Control V, and look how fast we're getting the rest of this category done here simply by pasting. So this makes short work of doing a category, because often these categories require the same things. and then I would do, the combos separately. I'm not going to do attendant. And now when I click submit, we've done all of those all at once, and so that's how long it takes to do an entire category. And all I would need to do is go back in and define the asphalt and the stickers and concrete. So each of those surfaces needs to be defined. But that's all it takes to set up a load sheet and to set up additional costs if you so desire on a particular setup surface. Have a great day.